Welcome to stage 3 of the Rallye du Maroc. This is what went down today in the bikes. Today's outing taking us through the magnificent Merzouga dunes. Well, Ross Branch said the rally gods were unkind to him on this third stage. He was only 10 minutes off the pace this morning, but any hopes of a decent result were ruined when he ran out of gas due to a break in the fuel line. The Motswana was finally rescued by a good Samaritan, David Pabiska, but he lost more than 2 hours.
Disappointing, but we're here, we're in one piece, and at least it happens now and not Dakar. So let's just keep positive and look forward to tomorrow.
Well, Bradley Cox made a bright start, but an unfortunate navigation mistake cost him over 10 minutes. He eventually linked up with Edgar Canet and got back on track, but he could only manage 7th place in Rally GP. Still, the South African says that slowly but surely things are starting to click with his new factory Sherco. The further we go into this rally, the more it looks like Daniel Sanders and Tosha Schareina will be grappling for overall victory. The Australian struggled to find his groove after a tough day yesterday and said he didn't really feel like himself. In spite of that though, he only dropped 5 seconds to Schareina over the course of 323 kilometres. Chucky retains the overall lead and the perfect season is still on. Schareina set off first after his stage win yesterday, and he was targeting the 2 minutes and 6 seconds of opening bonuses, designed to offset the time that you lose when you're navigating up at the front. The Spaniard did a fantastic job on the longest stage of the week, and at kilometre 203 he was actually level with Sanders overall. Ultimately he remains in second, but it was mission accomplished for the day.
The mission that we had from the beginning was opening from the beginning to the end, and we did it. So I think we did a really good job. We take all the bonus, so that's good.
Just those 5 seconds between the top two, with Ricky Breivik admitting he can't match their pace right now. He was over 3 minutes back in third. With 2 stages to go, the overall gap between Sanders and Schareina is only 38 seconds. But who's going to blink first? In Rally 2, it was another good day for Konrad Dabrowski, who was moved up to 3rd place overall. Even if he was a little tired after several demanding days, he finished 3rd in class today, having come 2nd yesterday. Well, the Pole spent a busy couple of months training before this rally, and he says that it's great to see his efforts paying off. The stage victory went to Michael Doherty, who made a big push in his bid to hunt down the overnight leader, Edgar Canet. The South African's roadbook tablet stopped working just after refuelling, so he had to stop and wait for Lorenzo Santolino, but he was given back 5 minutes 23 and won the stage comfortably from Canet. He now trails the young Spaniard by just 40 seconds overall.
I was feeling really good and felt good with the navigation for once. Tried something different, took away all the odometers and just used the tablet, so that I felt like was an advantage for myself, so happy with it. Let's see what happens with the overall results, but I felt good today. So
Doherty putting 4 minutes 28 into Canet once he got that time back, with Dabrowski ahead of Niels Terek and Martin Ventura. It's game on for overall victory, with those 40 seconds separating the top two. Thomas Oldos has been put through the ringer this week. The Frenchman suffers from Lyme disease and the heat has aggravated his symptoms. Yesterday he fractured a metatarsal, and on top of all that he's got technical problems and can't go faster than 70 kilometers an hour. Hardly surprising that he lost over 45 minutes today, but he is still in the lead in Rally 3. After big penalties yesterday, Noah Sankt won today. He has 2 days to pull back 40 minutes. The sun goes down, but in Rally Raid, the day is far from over. This is stage 3 of the Rallye du Maroc, and here are today's highlights in the ultimate class. Well, the pressure is on as we approach the business end of this Rallye du Maroc. A big day ahead for title contenders and stage hopefuls alike. Al-Attiyah was first out of the gate this morning with only one thing on his mind, staying at the front until the finish line. The Qatari had absolutely superb pace throughout, never quite topping the timesheets, but not far off. And while guys behind him had various problems, he sailed through unscathed. In fact, he and Fabien Lercant spent over 10 minutes at the finish line without anybody else turning up.
I have a good day. No problem. Fabian, he did a good navigation, and we open and nobody catch us. And yeah, I hope we can make a really good stage.
Well, that means Al-Attiyah has closed the gap on his remaining championship rival, Lucas Morais. The Brazilian lost around 6 minutes to the Qatari after a slow puncture in the final 60k. He and Armand Monleon were eventually forced to change the tyre. Morais, though, is now up to second overall, and he'll keep pushing. Away from the title fight, Eric Gockschall had a solid day in the dunes, saying he can't remember the last time he had so much fun in the car. The Polish wonder kid is still getting to grips with the ultimate class after his precocious Dakar win in the SSVs. 6th place for him today. Ahead of him in 5th place was Matthias Ekstrom. The Swede had a good flow early on, but then got stuck in Joao Ferreira's dust and didn't quite get the result he was hoping for. Still, he's up to 3rd place overall. A silver lining on a tough day for Ford. Mitch Guthrie lost his aircon, Carlos Sainz retired with engine issues, and the overnight leader, Nani Roma, had to ease off after 2 punctures. With Roma losing over 12 minutes, Sebastian Loeb is now top of the pile. The Frenchman also enjoying a clean run with no big mistakes and some impressive navigation, although he said the stage was anything but straightforward.
It was very difficult, some very bad places to pass in some very bad weeds and things like this, so it was quite tricky for the navigation, for the driving, but at the end we had a good stage.
Loeb spent quite a while in 1st place on the stage, but he was eventually dislodged by 2 other drivers. Seth Quintero said his day was too good, if anything. Their plan was to finish in around 10th place to cover Morais tomorrow, but Andy Short did such a fine job navigating that they ended up in 2nd. Oops. Up in 1st place, and this was the plan today, Henk Laterken. The South African is still digesting the huge disappointment of falling out of the title race yesterday, and while this was a bit of redemption, it wasn't enough. L'Attaquant already playing the team game on behalf of Maroc by taking valuable points away from Nasser.
I think we already helped them out today. Though we, of course, Nasser and them were still flying, even opening the road, so they would have scored extra points today if myself and Seth weren't pushing. So that was the idea for today, to try and score as much points as possible and take some points off them if it's possible. And yeah, it seems to have worked.
Tight gaps today with under a minute separating the top three. Al-Attiyah only dropped a minute and 42 despite opening all day, while Maroc was 9th. Loeb leads the rally by 3 minutes 25 from Maroc, with Al-Attiyah now just over 7 minutes off the pace. It was all change in the challengers today, with the overnight leader Yasser Sayadan dropping out of contention after breaking his steering rack. Nicolas Cavigliasso made the most of it, climbing up to second after a solid day. The Argentine now just has to keep a close eye on his final remaining World Championship rival, Pau Navarro, who's 29 points adrift in the standings. With Navarro taking the overall lead, his teammate Dania Akil romped to the stage victory. The Saudi had been targeting the win in Morocco, so she was really disappointed to lose over an hour yesterday, but this was the perfect way to bounce back. Akil winning by over 2 minutes from Paul Spearings.
I woke up today and got to the stage, and me and my co-driver Kadu, we were like, look, let's just start fresh, go for it and do our best. He did a great job. I was pretty focused, I would say, so I'm happy with the result.
Abdulaziz Al-Kawari had been leading with 50k to go, but dropped from first to third after a late puncture. Overall, Navarro leads Cavigliasso by a minute 13, with the Stage 2 winner, Puk Klassen, up to third. The Maverick R's did another demolition job in the SSVs, with the Can-Am factory team completing a 1-2-3-4. Chaleco Lopez won for the second day in a row, edging slightly closer to the overall lead. The Chilean enjoying what he described as a complete stage with a bit of everything. Hedemias Ferrioli agreed with his teammate, saying that with the dunes, the stony riverbeds and the fast sections, the terrain was awesome. The Argentine came second and he remains on top overall. He's looking forward to the inter-team battle over the last 2 days.
It is what we wanted, to have a strong team with 4 good cars and 4 good drivers, so hopefully we are doing good. And it's good to fight with the team, you know, I prefer that over fighting the other guys.
Lopez, Gonzalez, Cheney, Miller, the Can-Am factory team running riot on this third stage, with Helder Rodriguez in 5th. Ferrioli still leads the rally, but Miller and Chaleco are both within 12 minutes.